I'm Adrian Malone and I'm Head of Digital Project Delivery in BIM at WSP for Transport and Infrastructure. So digital and BIM, I think they're really two elements of the same thing. So when we think about BIM, first of all, BIM is very much the first step of digital transformation. So BIM stands for Building Information Modelling. Some people describe it as better information management. And what it's really about, it's the collaborative process and the way that we coordinate information through the design and the construction and on into handover of an asset. So that's where we start with BIM, and really what BIM does is open up the opportunity for a much broader digital transformation. So when we think about digital, what is digital? Well, digital is about a set of technologies and a set of working practices, very much centered around data, but really focused in on outcomes, and typically on outcomes that would have been perhaps too expensive, too difficult, too complex to deliver using old working practices and old technology. And what digital does is allow us to create the opportunity to achieve some of those outcomes that were perhaps too difficult in the past. Digital can really benefit the customers of infrastructure. And by customers, I mean the road users, the rail users, or the end users of the infrastructure, as well as the stakeholders, the agencies who have an involvement or an interest in and work with the infrastructure providers. And that's because infrastructure is hugely complex, and what digital allows us to do is to model that infrastructure in a very detailed way, to run simulations, to actually digitally rehearse the implementation of new projects before we reach site. And that means that we can really focus in on how we mitigate the impact of those projects on the end users. And we can also then simulate the infrastructure in use and identify opportunities to fine-tune and to improve the way that that infrastructure is managed, again with minimum impact on the end users. Digital is particularly powerful when you combine it with modern methods of construction, so things like off-site manufacture. And that's because it allows us to deliver infrastructure in a whole new way, which really focuses in on the needs of the customer and on the impact of infrastructure in terms of wider society. I genuinely believe that we're entering into a whole new era for infrastructure, and a very exciting time in which we get an opportunity to address the changing needs of society, but also to meet the challenges associated with climate change.